Oh, okay, guys. So, Calhoun was just on. He wasn't near my base, but he was just hopped on, did a recording, and I was just. Ooh, cats. I ran in here to. Hold on. I ran in here to grab some wood because I'm making note blocks, and there's Calhoun. Hold on. Oops. I started typing that when he logged off. And I just pressed up to send it again once he logged back on. Let's see. It was in. Now I'm telling him what I'm about to tell you. Attacking. Okay, so I mentioned a few times about how iron golems sometimes will attack creepers, apparently. And how originally, when the game first introduced iron golems, they specifically did not do that. That was like a big thing because it's harmful to your village and stuff if they it potentially lets zombies in when creepers are attacked by iron golems, especially if the creepers are going to blow up. I mean, if the creepers are not going to blow up and they're just going to take it, then yeah, absolutely, I'll put them all over my base. But apparently that's not the case. That's not how it works. So thank goodness none of my villagers died. Thank goodness. But I'm not too happy about this. We're going to have to figure this out. And I've got to rebuild some things. I was being attacked by a spider as another creeper came over here and blew this up, so I'm going to have to take care of that too. I don't know how stuff like this happens. Oh, no, that was okay, that was on me. I already put it away. Alright. So yeah, he blew up right here, and honestly, like, how ironic is it that the villagers are probably safer if these iron golems are somewhere else? Alright, so let's see what we've got here. Shoot, I just put away half the stuff I need to use. Oh, here's something I can use. Alright, so... there's a glitch where they keep glitching through here and it looks like a UFO right, taking them up. Let's see. I'm gonna handle this other thing first while my inventory's full of stuff. Okay, I should mention I did a recording for episode 22 already. But I'm not sure I'm going to use it. I'm probably going to... This will probably be the new recording for it, because it was like an hour and a half long, and it was not really worth it, you know? As you remember, in my last few recordings, there was a reed farm up here. Well, I turned this, and this is what I had initially planned on doing. I turned this into a place where I store my enchanted books here. So every time I reach level 30, I enchant a book and I stick it in a chest here. And they're in alphabetical order. And I am looking to sell them if players are interested in paying me with emeralds or whatever. We'll have to come up with a pricing system. But I am interested in selling, so if you're interested in buying, let me know. I've got a chest here for future enchantments, these two chests. So we'll get to that later. Because what I thought was, I was at 62 in the water, and if you remember, I was down like 3 blocks or so from where the actual ground would have been on this floor. And I thought, hey, it might be smarter for me. Sorry, drinking some Dr. Pepper. It might be smarter for me instead of, worrying about the beacon and everything, because the beacon is just behind this wall. Originally, I lowered it, but I found out that if I just made a smaller storage area, which actually doesn't look too bad, that it would work out better that way. Hold on one second. Sorry. I have some noise happening. Somebody's vacuuming in the next room. My wife's dog is on the bed with me, and she's being remarkably quiet. So if you hear any like growling or barking that doesn't sound like Minecraft dogs, that's what it is, and I'll have to deal with it. Anyway, so yeah, I got those, and I thought to myself, okay, well, actually, it's probably smarter for me to just go down another level. You know, because then I'll have a lot more room to get the squid farm and all that. It'll just be so much smarter. So I came down here, and I'm at level 61. I'm like, crap, crap, crap. That does not help me. So I had to go down one more level. And, you know, I'm not going to come down here all that much, you know. And ironically, one more floor down here, like if I was to go even farther, it's a abandoned mine shaft, so... Or not necessarily abandoned mine shaft, but it's a cave. So what I'm going to put here is the storage that's going to go in this room is going to be my archives. So when I fill up the chests upstairs with, like, random books of whatever, you know, and the little archives of, like, the hate note that I sent to Alamantis in that prank and stuff, they'll end up going in here and getting stored in here. And then here's going to be a squid farm, which originally I put here, and I'll be able to show you exactly how it works, but I moved it to this wall, so I've got a lot more possibilities of squids falling. And then this will be storage right here, because it's just going to come out looking nicer. And then over here, we're going to have a reed farm where you push a button or something, and it activates a bunch of pistons, and it pushes a bunch of reeds into the water, which will then get pushed down to where you can pick it up and make it into paper. And I don't know, maybe I'll put crafting benches down here, because I kind of need to hide them somewhere. And this looks like I don't know, we'll figure it out. Maybe a chest can go here too. A series of chests, who knows? We'll figure it out, because, you know, this is where the levels end. I'm not going down another level. At least I don't have any plans for one yet. So we'll see how it is. And this is actually really nice, because being underneath the ground, I can make large reed farms and stuff without having to worry about running into stuff as much. So I'm looking forward to that. So basically, this is the setup. You step on a pressure plate, or not you step on, but like, here. Originally, oops, the lamp was here, and the pressure plate was here, and you'd not you'd step on, but like the squid will spawn, and then if they swim down too far, they fall. They land on the pressure plate, which, let's see if I got anything. I can't really show it. Okay, so what happens is, come on, this is the original design. So the pressure plate activates this redstone torch, which deactivates it, and then deactivates this, which which activates this, which deactivates this, which activates this, so that only the light in front of that one will come on. And another great thing about it is that I put I'm using on the like the actual one I'm doing. I'm using let's see, this block. Yes, this block right here is note block instead of a solid block. So it'll activate a note when something lands on it, and it also helps because it'll do it. Like I don't have more than, I got like maybe 5 set up right now, but if you'll see, like if a squid fell here, so that's really great because it's since these are 1 wide, it only activates 1, so that it's not like it'll stay on and then like if a bunch of squids fall. So I'll just know if I hear 3 chimes, I'll know like 3 squids fell, and I can come down here and collect the ink sac. So let's see, I got these guys. And I'm not sure what chime I'm going to leave it at. I think I'm going to leave it at what it is right now, just the normal, like, ding. Oh, shoot, I need 2 more. I knew I was going to need more wood. Do I have any wood logs? Nope. Alright, so that's that. And then, yeah, let's take care of that now. Oh, I started playing Silent Hill Origins. And I know that the main complaint that people have with it is that it breaks continuity because it's a prequel. It breaks the whole flow of the idea that... Let's see. I want to see if I can just take care of this now. I need a lever. Okay, let me get some wood. Because it breaks, like, you know, because the Nightmare Realm shouldn't even exist until after the events of it, you know, during Silent Hill 1 and stuff. But, you know, and I'm going to play Silent Hill 1 after I go through Origins again. You know, like, after I go through Origins, I'm going to play through Silent Hill 1 again just to see. But to me, it seems as though they did a pretty decent job. It does not seem like they're breaking continuity all that much. Oh, my goodness. The feel of the game, I think it very much feels like a Silent Hill game. I think that the graphic quality is, like, right on par with what it should be. I'm pretty pleased with it so far. The only downside to it, and I know you know that this is going to happen, you know, but there's too many monsters that are from Silent Hill 2, as opposed to, you know, inventing new monsters. Which, you know, that's just, it's gonna happen, you know. And in fact, I think that the models of, I mean, you know, granted it would, because it's later, it's a later game, but the models of the get out of here. You're still spinning. This is 1.4.6. Get out of here. Stop spinning. The models for the monsters, in my opinion, are much better than they were, obviously, in Silent Hill 2. I mean, they're pretty crappy if you. I mean, let's face it, they aren't that great in Silent Hill 2, but they're groundbreaking for their time still. All right, so I need one of these still, and I need this. Oh, you know what? No. Let's not do that. Let's do this. What can I put away? You. That's what I want to put away. Perfect. Right, that'll take care of it. Nighttime again. Jeez. I wish I could turn off mob griefing on just Enderman. Oh, bed. No, I didn't come here to craft. Eh. Dog is... the untamed wolf is still up there trying to get out. Alright, guys. Oh, you know what? Shoot. My bad. I thought that this was a... Oh, it's a lamp. Okay, good. So I don't have to run back and get more stairs of that type. Perfect. Nice. Okay, cool. So we got that all taken care of. Oh, no. There's a lot of stairs missing here. Anyway, yes, I think the game's pretty good. I'm liking the twists in it already. I think they did a phenomenal job. I'm not gonna lie. Now, here is one thing that I will say about it, you know, and this is true for all the ones that are gonna have come out from an American company. The subtext and the, like, almost poetic way of writing is not there. Okay, just kill it, guys. Stop looking at it. You know, like the stuff to do in like Silent Hill 2 is a very deep game. I mean, there's a lot of very deep, profound themes to it, and they're not gonna. It's Silent Hill Origins is much more shallow in that regard. You know, as in shallow, as in it's not as deep. But as far as the Silent Hill game goes, I'm enjoying it. I expected to have problems with it, but so far the only problem I had was that when I go to pick up an item, like I have a habit in games where I'm constantly tapping the X button so that every time I walk by anything I could pick up, I'll pick it up. But I pick it up and then I'm tapping the X button, and obviously this is my fault, not the game's. But I'm tapping the X button and then it picks up the item, and then I'm like, oh no, what was it? I didn't read it. No, you know. I think this is going to look better if I do this, actually. Just leave those open. I'm kidding. So I saw The Hobbit. I saw it at 48 frames per second in 3D. after going a whole night where I only slept for an hour. And I saw the midnight showing, so I was a little bit impaired. I also drove like a half hour, or almost a full hour, I think. Yeah, I mean, it took me a half hour because there wasn't a lot of traffic at the time, but it's, you know, it was a decent distance that it took me. Why did I only bring one of those? Alright, so I got that. Okay, I saw The Hobbit. I thought it was good, but I had a lot of issues with it. First of all, most important thing I can say, I talk a lot about... Oh my gosh, I don't know. I talk a lot about how I am not a fan of 3D. I do not think Avatar is any good. I think it's, you know, I honestly, I work for this industry and I hate it because I know it's a scam, you know. And, you know, as I'm sitting in the theater watching the trailers and like sitting there with the 3D glasses going like, God, these trailers look horrible. I don't want to see any of these movies because I'm seeing it in 3D right now. Um, Literally the very second that the words "The Hobbit" come on screen, you know, as soon as the actual movie starts, that whole headache of what the hell am I looking at 3D completely gone. Um, very, very good job with the 3D, and you know I still recommend you see it in 2D. But I was impressed, and it's difficult to impress me when you're. Gosh, I don't remember how many more I needed. I guess I'll just bring this wood. Come on, there we go. But I was impressed with the 3D. And one of the things that really impressed me with it is they didn't force it too much. Oh, by the way, all these things I talked about in the other episode 22 that I haven't brought up yet. Okay, so we got this guy here. We got this guy here. I used MC Edit to move him. Something's down there. I just heard a note block. See how long it takes to get down to this floor? Yep. Oh, God. Nice. Okay. That's going to get annoying. I mean, once I light this up a little bit, it won't be as bad. You know, obviously nothing's going to spawn here. Only squids are going to be able to fall there because the light level will be high enough. But until then, it's going to be making noise. Anyway, so about these... I thought it was nighttime because I thought this was a window for a second. Okay, so about these towers. I copied it over with MC Edit because, as I've said before, I'm a self-proclaimed guru at nether portal syncing. It's not possible for me to encompass this into my gold farm in the nether the way it is right now. Because where that portal is in the overworld, when you use a nether portal calculator, it syncs up almost exactly to where this one in the nether ends up. So it overrides it. Even if you move it far enough away where it's like, yeah, okay, I guess I'll link you here. Every time you go back through it, you end up at that one instead of this one. So it's no-go. I can't do that. So what I decided is I thought, okay, well, what I can do is I could put it over here. And this is, it's too close. This was just me seeing how it looked in Minecraft, you know, in the actual game on the server. So I'm going to move it again. And I looked at a map to try to kind of come up with an idea. And at first I was going to move it here, but it's way too close. I hate how close that is. So I'm going to show you real quick where I'm going to move it, and then we'll move on with our day. And I'm actually going to move it by hand. I'm not going to use MC Edit to move it. Because that's not right. This is just visualizing. I don't want to spend all this time moving it and then decide I hate where I put it and move it again, you know? Aw, poor guy. My goodness. Okay, so this is, you can see right now, this is why I wish I could turn off mob griefing for just Endermen. Because if you turn it off for creepers, then they don't matter at all. You don't have to be afraid of them anymore, and that totally takes away a lot of the enjoyment of the game. By the way, there's like a glitch happening. I think I talked about this in an earlier episode, where basically every time... Oh, I don't have an open spot. I'm going to plant these. You know what? Actually, I'm going to plant them on top of this one. So that someday I'll come by and harvest that, and I'll remember that it's, you know, whatever. I don't need to explain. Oh, let's get those. All right, cool. So here's where I'm going to move the mob farm, I think, because visually it looks like it's about the same distance as the one that's over there. Is if I move it just past that stone area to that little water area. I think that'll be good. At least that's what I'm going to try. You know, I have to do the portal linking while these guys are here before I move them, so I know that it's going to work. But that's basically why those are there. Man, I hate Endermen. Look at this place. It's just horrible. You know, the thing I hate about them the most is that it's like, oh, there's a creeper. You can see that the farms work, even when I'm not really that close to it. So with Enderman, it's like these areas over here, I haven't gotten here yet. I'm not building here yet, you know? This is like the, oh my gosh, more. This is like the nice view I get to enjoy until I get there. But the problem is, once I get here and I decide I'm going to start building here, it's like the ground's already destroyed. It's already completely decimated by the Enderman. It just looks like crap. That's really a bummer for me, you know. I don't know. I really, because I like the natural beauty of the game, and it just, I don't know. My OCD makes me feel like I can't put blocks back the way they're supposed to go. Like, I look at this and I'm like, God, what happened here? I mean, look at these. Ugh, so annoying, Enderman. Anyway, I don't want to go on this forever, but so The Hobbit. When I started watching it, I felt like I was watching a gradient. That gradient being a really crappy movie to pretty decent movie. You know, so the beginning of the movie I did not like. I thought it was very bad. And I think it had a lot to do with the 3D and 48 FPS because it was way too clear. I mean, the whole movie was way too clear. Because with 48 FPS, you have much less motion blur. So things don't feel nearly as smooth. And in fact, even though they are far smoother due to the FPS being higher. By the way, a lot of people might be telling you that 48 FPS is higher than your eyes can actually see. That's not true. I've heard that from several people lately. That is not the case. I believe that you can see almost double that. But there we go. So the 48 frames per second thing, it made the picture feel like the old Harryhausen, like during action scenes, it felt like the old claymation by Ray Harryhausen. And that was really strange because the frame rate being so high, you'd think it wouldn't do that. But when you do a higher frame rate, you have to light things a lot more dynamically and stuff, and that's just one of the things that happens. So, anyways, so when the movie starts, it's so clear and way too colorful, and I felt as though I was watching like the BBC television series for like the Narnia stories. Like I was really unimpressed at the beginning because you know the Lord of the Rings. One of the things I loved about Lord of the Rings, and by the way, I have a real strong attachment to Lord of the Rings that I don't think I brought up yet. And the reason why is because not only has it been a huge part of my childhood, but my dad actually, he's a stunt coordinator. It's one of the reasons I work in the film business. And my dad worked on Lord of the Rings, and I actually lived in New Zealand for 2 months while they were filming it. And, you know, I visited the sets and I met the actors, and, you know, I have a real emotional attachment to the whole experience of seeing the movies and stuff, you know? So, anyway, let's see, where was I? You know what? Hold on, I'm trying to think. Okay, yeah. Oh no. Anyway, so with The Hobbit, I should let him know. with The Hobbit, it was so clear. And okay, you got to understand, when I say clear, I'm saying that whenever there was a shot, and I've talked about not liking HD TVs at all. I hate them. My in-laws have one, and every single thing you watch on it feels like it was filmed on a home video camera where autofocus is way too good, and I hate it. It just looks so bad. But it was so clear in The Hobbit that anytime there was a shot where you saw the sky or anything that was a consistently solid color, you would become overly conscious of the imperfections in the screen that the movie was being projected onto. So any tears, any small tears, cracks, or rips, or anything on the wall that it was being projected onto, you could see it clear as day because of how clear the movie itself was, and I hated that. I absolutely hated that. Oh man, I thought I had way more of these with me. This is a little bit irritating because there's a dungeon, right underneath. Not a dungeon, but like an abandoned mine shaft kind of thing. Oh, okay, good. I just want to make sure I still heard it. Below there, so I'm gonna have to light that up a lot better because, oh man, is he in the nether? Maybe we can help him out. Because it says he's burning to death, not trying to swim in lava. It could be that something killed him and has his flame bow or something. Now let me toss some stuff in the chest. That's good enough. Give me a second. So, by the way, I've pretty much finished my gold farm. I'll get back to that later. It's really efficient, like disgustingly efficient. He could be burning from walking through the fires and stuff. I should have taken a rail. What am I doing? Let's use an ender pearl, I guess. Passed by portal. He must mean my portal. Do you hear how silent the nether sounds for some reason? No zombie pigmen. No gas. What is going on? Nothing. How is he being killed? There's nothing here. Huh. I heard a squeal. So anyway, about the Hobbit. Geez, how can I even put this? Let's see. What was I talking about a second ago? I gotta find him. I want to help him out. So, let's see. Oh, by the way, here's Alamantis's tunnel. I think it looks so awesome. He's got like this little opening here to go back into what is essentially nothing, but it's just really cool. I think it looks awesome. What's up there? I haven't looked up there yet. Maybe there is something to be seen here. I've been donating him a lot of cobblestone. In fact, no, it's not here. Okay, so he's going to be this way. I want to help him get that pick back if we can. Oh, let's get that bow prepped and ready. Jeez, I'm going to waste all these ender pearls. I got these ender pearls by killing endermen around my base because I finally realized that when you shoot them with arrows, they teleport out of the way, and then they're like gone. You have to attack them with the sword. Okay, so he's definitely already here. So he's going to be coming through here pretty soon. So we're going to go through here and wait for him so that we don't cause his stuff to despawn unnecessarily. Do I have anything I can give him? Yeah, wait, there's a bow here too. Let's go. The bow that I do have here is not infinity though. That's funny. That is infinite? No, that's infinite. I need to say infinity is with a Y. I always feel like that's spelled wrong when I see it in the enchantment. Did he already go through? No. I don't want to waste any time. I don't want to look for his stuff and have no idea where it is. Oops. Oh, that's cool. The new update. That's not only 3D, but you can see the enchanting on it. Here we go. Oh, by the way, you know how T. Calhoun's got that map up there? I noticed something really cool. When these chunks are not loaded and that map is therefore not loaded, that green dot on it is not there on my side. So when T. Calhoun's on, if I wanted to know where he was, all I have to do is look at the map over in my area, you know, the copy I have of it. And obviously this goes for everybody who has a map, which eventually we all will. You just look at your series of their maps, and if the green dot's there, it means these chunks are loaded, which means that this is where they are. The only thing that's going to be different is the map at spawn is going to be different because it's going to have you know, those chunks stay loaded. Where is he? Tight. Ooh, gold ingot. Toss more items in here since I can. Well? Question mark? He might have meant I'm at the well, which I don't know where his well is. Ooh. Are you in the nether? That's all I'm asking. So used to jump boost. If he said well, I imagine if there was a well, it'd be, oops, in there. But, and he's really got to light this up better. Alright. No lights, right? Oh, there are some. Shoot. How am I going to do this? Alright. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to the nether. I don't know how I missed him if I did. I don't see his name tag over here. He's... Oh. Yeah. He's probably in the nether and couldn't really talk much because he is in battle. Trying to get his pants back or whatever. That was uneventful footage. I just wanted my bucket of water. That zombie... Oh, there he is. Let's get it. Let's slay those guys. I'm gonna die. Won't that be funny? He needs to... I don't know if he knows that he can just punch those fires and they'll go out. Yeah! They added this thing now when you hit players, and it goes ding! Like a... Yeah. But unfortunately, it doesn't happen on anything but players, I guess. Come on. I wanna find these pants and get them back for him. Because I went to all the trouble to get over here. And I've got... Yeah, jeez. No kidding. Pick up that gas tier. There he is up there. I don't know if he's coming after me or to help me or what. He just tells me where to go. I'll take care of him. I don't even have much armor on. Basically all I've got is feather falling and then a little bit of fire protection 1 left. But yeah, I still have my feather falling face, as I call it. He was being killed by fire. It must have been this fire. I thought he was being attacked by a blaze. That's why... Or I think it says fireballed by a blaze when you're killed by a blaze, though, huh? So yeah, it must have been this. I don't know. I guess it's if you're killed by the actual blaze fireball, it probably says that. But if you're just killed by the fire, it probably still says burn to death or something. He's typing. I don't see this zombie pigman, but if he picked it up, he won't despawn. So, or at least I don't believe that's how zombie pigmen work. I don't see him. He's probably right over there. Yep. Pico is typing. Oh, get out of my way. I don't think I can easily get up there this way. About these fires. Alright, so anyway, about The Hobbit. Let's get back to that. There's a lot of things about it I did not care for. I was originally on board with the idea of them making it into 3 movies. Because I personally feel like the Lord of the Rings movies should have been 3 each. So you'd have a total of 9 Lord of the Rings movies. Because there is enough detail and whatnot in Tolkien's original work that that would not have been a big stretch, you know. But unfortunately, I hate to say it, but I honestly felt like almost every single scene in The Hobbit was padded. I felt like there was, they all dragged on. And, you know, again, are you guys angry at me, or are you just jumping for no reason? Because I felt like they were padded, you know. I felt like I felt like they had intentionally tried to make them longer, and it's potentially true that me being tired, because like I said, I had been up for over I had only slept for an hour, um, and I was very very tired, obviously. So, and it was the midnight showing, so it's potentially, I could be wrong. I could feel differently the next time I see it. Um, if you grew up with the book and started with like the children's book version, like I did, and remember the cartoon and stuff, um, you'll be happy to know there's. Oh, I don't know if you'll be happy to know this, because I thought that a lot of the stuff they put in that was originally taken out was taken out for good reason. From the kids' stories and stuff. But they add the necromancer back in, which is fantastic, because whether you know it or not, the necromancer is actually Sauron um, in The Hobbit, and that's pretty cool that you get to see that. They did a pretty decent job with them too, but I don't know. There's some other characters that you won't be expecting if you've only read like the children's book version and stuff. And a lot of them are, I don't know, they're kind of irritating. And there is the white orc is in it, which is fantastic. Obviously, that they would stick to the source material, and he's pretty cool. And this is a little bit of a spoiler. I don't think it's going to ruin anybody's time if they haven't seen the movie yet. But he gets his hand cut off in one of the battles, and it's like, okay, big deal. Obviously, he's going to come back later because all it is his hand's been cut off. And he comes back later with the stupidest looking, like, makeshift hand you've ever seen in your life. It honestly looks like a stick figure hand. I mean, it's so crappy. It reminds me of the hands of the. Okay, great, you found it. I was of zero help. Maybe all I've done was like taking out some of the fire for him. Anyway, but it reminds me of the hand from that game Ski Free, when the Yeti would come out, the abominable snowman would come and eat you, and I just like the way his hands look. It totally reminds me of that. You jerk. See if I can get that before we leave. Might as well, if I came all this way, I might as well get some gunpowder and gas, tears, and experience out of it. Anyway, so yeah, it looks awful. And what's worse is that he's full CG, which was amazing. He's full CG, but man, did they do a good job with the mocap and everything. Mocap obviously being motion capture. I need to get some food. Jeez. I used up all my ender pearls, and I don't expect to have a cart waiting for me. So, oh well. I might cut this. We'll see. I should probably a good time for me to a good idea to take this time and talk about The Hobbit, because in my previous recording I went on for a long time. But obviously the second time around I'm more collected in my thoughts and everything. So anyway, yeah, there's a couple things with The Hobbit. One thing I really hated were the wargs. If you remember the warg riders from, man, I need to just take this chest. It's been here forever. The warg riders from the Two Towers. Which actually, I don't believe that instance is in the book, but they added it because thematically it told the story in a way that was a little bit better to have the awesome to have the warg riders show up and have Aragorn fall off that cliff and be supposedly dead and all that. So there's wargs in The Hobbit, and they look awful. I'm almost positive that Weta Digital did the effects for The Hobbit, just like in the Lord of the Rings. But I wouldn't be surprised to learn that they didn't, and it was some other company that couldn't get the assets that were from Lord of the Rings because it looks bad, and obviously they would have redone whenever a movie comes out, like every single Shrek movie, they completely remodel Shrek from the ground up because the technology's better and whatnot. But they would have redone it, but I wish they hadn't because they looked way better, in my opinion, in Lord of the Rings. And it's a darn shame. So about the gold farm, that's working very nicely. You'll notice these are not iron anymore. I had to use up all my iron to make the pistons. and tripwire hooks. Those are these, which were actually taken out of the game again. If you've been playing Minecraft for a long time, you'll recognize these as, it's just this texture repeated on the sides. But you'll recognize this from back in the day when that's what double stone slabs looked like. They didn't look like this. In fact, you can see a difference here. Oh, that's an upside down one. Okay, well, basically it just, it has a different texture now. So, anyway, this is item ID 44-7. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but there's a siren going by my house. The Doppler effect is in effect. That sounded dumb. Anyway, so these were 44-6, and now 44-6 is netherrack, or nether brick half slabs. So if you watch Etho, and a couple other people have already experienced the problem where they log into their world and they think that somebody has robbed them because all of their really rare blocks like that are now gone. Anyway, I use those here, and I changed it up. So now it's just these corners that go up. Because when a gas spawns here, and that's really what this is for, is a gas kill chamber. It's going to kill them no matter what if they push those up. I might have to take care of the... I don't know. Something in here I think might be preventing gas from spawning. I'm not sure. I'm going to hop out real quick and show you this in X-ray texture real quick. Okay, so here we are in X-ray texture. Somehow I have a cat stuck down there. Oh, let me push this button. Alright. So I've got this cat stuck there. I'm going to have to get him out of there someday. There's the gold farm back there. Goes all the way to the height limit. Goes all the way down to the level just before they would fall to their death. Down here you can see I've got items collecting there. That's because I made a way to turn off the gold farm. When you press this button right here, that's a little bit hard to see, but there's a button here. What it does, it actually does three things. Number one, it creates a power. It goes through a T flip-flop that you can see right there, and it provides power to this block, this block, this block, and this block. And in doing that, what it's doing is it's powering this redstone lamp, this one, and this one, so that these guys light up, so that you know, okay, the farm is active, it's on. It's not just storing stuff there until it despawns. The next thing it does is it pushes that piston, which makes these guys come up, and there is a small chance that items will glitch out and you will lose some of them, but, because of how efficient this farm is, it's not really anything you got to worry about. Unless you see if you're in X-ray texture and you see a wither skeleton skull down there, because you can see bones right there, and I'll get to that in a second. But unless you see a wither skeleton skull down there, it's not really worth it to go after that piece of gold or whatever. So the third thing it does, here, let me show you something in single player real quick. All right, so here we are, no longer in X-ray texture pack. So the third thing that button does is it sends a signal down, and this is a really cool way I like to send signals downward. I got the idea from I think it was Zixuma, one of his videos, but his was a little bit different. So check this out. It's almost instant on its way down, which is what I like about it. And when I say almost instant, it's because it's the time it takes for the piston to extend, and then this piston to extend, and then this piston to extend, and it goes all the way down basically to bedrock on the server. And what it does is it deactivates a series of pistons that's holding back water on the server, in my gold farm. And so it lets them down just enough so that water can push any items that might be stuck sitting right on the iron bars on the server where the gold farm is. It pushes those into the stream so that they'll be sent up. Just, so you can basically flush any lingering items. By the way, this is what my original ghast farm test was, to see where I made it so that literally nothing could spawn anywhere. I mean, I added a bunch of stuff later that kind of broke that test, but when the test was, existent, I tried to get gas to spawn in here, and I did all sorts of different tests, but I have yet to get one to spawn, so we'll have to see. What have a sign here? It just says nothing on it. Anyway, all right, so let's hop back on the server. Okay, so we're back on the server. So I'm gonna push that button, and you're gonna just see a bunch of items come up. By the way, I have a command block. It's spawn. That is constantly being activated. So watch my hotbar right now. As soon as I pick up this flesh, the rotten flesh, it gets removed from my inventory. So basically, anytime I ever pick up any rotten flesh, it'll just be picked up and then thrown away. I don't want to take the time to do this right now. In fact, I'm going to turn the farm back off. Oh shoot! You know what? Man, look at that! Look at how much that gave me in just that amount of time. Oh my gosh, another full stack. I mean, it's crazy good. This farm is way too efficient. And you know, I need to go back into X-ray for a minute. Okay, guys. So the reason I need to be in X-ray is because I got to show you. All right. So you might notice I filled in every single spot of the Nether. It took a very, very long time, and it took an awful lot of blocks. And it's going to be funny. I can't wait till... I actually used MC Edit to finish it up, you know, filling in just the air with netherrack. Because eventually, you know, I didn't want to do all this work and then have it be for nothing, because we're going to, like, reset the chunks when the nether ore comes in the next... in 1.5. So, once we get there, you know, this is going to be... all my hard work would have been for nothing. So I didn't really mind using MC Edit for this thing, even though I did do at least 50% of the job. Which, if you look at the map on Third Echelon on the website, you'll notice that my area of the Nether is very, very dark, because I took out all the lava. That was like one of the first things I did. Was all the lava for 128 blocks in all directions of the center area of that gold farm. And, you know, the more places I go that I fill in, the more efficient it's going to be. So check it out. You can see a stream right here. And if you look carefully, I don't see anything yet, but we might see something before this is up. There's a stream that pushes mobs into the gold farm and just makes them fall down and die. That stream is a nether fortress wither skeleton farm. And if you look down here, there's actually more areas that are in that 128 blocks where things could spawn. I could actually utilize this as well, which I will eventually. I'm waiting for 1.5 with the mod API so I can put the bounding box mod and the mod that allows me to see what can spawn where. And I'm basically gonna turn this whole area, which I'm gonna have to do a lot more filling in over here to get this right. Or, you know, this, I could even potentially, the other option is to, rather than fill stuff in, why are you all standing still? That's a little bit weird. It's like a flash mob of zombie pigmen. I think that's what they're called. Flash mobs, like where they do the public... Oh, that's why. Well, that was funny while it lasted. Too bad I couldn't get a snapshot. I mean, I can always pull one out of the video and use it as the thumbnail, but it's not really that funny when it's not an animated... You know, I guess it doesn't matter. It's not funny because you don't realize that they're not moving until you actually see the video, so I guess it's okay. Anyway, so yeah, that's why that's so efficient, and that's why we're getting coal and bones, and occasionally arrows. And if you were to wait there long enough, probably days, you might... Well, even if you waited days, the gold would eventually take up your inventory, but if you waited long enough, you might even get a wither skeleton skull. So that's pretty cool. It's just something to kind of think about. And you know what? Technically, this might be more efficient if I were to replace this block right here with glass so that I could always just walk up and see. But I don't think that ghast can spawn if it's a glass block, so that's why I didn't do that. Anyway, alright, so I'm going to drop these guys back in here, and we're going to head back out. Alright, okay, so let's put this away. Oh my gosh, it's full. Jeez. Okay, for now, I'll clean that up later. Alright, and then Let's head back home. I have more stuff I want to talk about with The Hobbit. One thing, actually, that they did very, very, very well, like perfection, is the height difference between all the characters. I want to hear if this makes a ding. Nope. Bummer. I think the reason they put the ding in there is because, mobs make a noise when you kill them. They have what's called a death rattle, as they say. But players do not make noise, so I'm going to kill them. But anyway, in The Hobbit, the size difference between Gandalf and the dwarves and Bilbo, phenomenally executed. Way better than in Lord of the Rings. Now here's the funny thing about that. I think, ironically, that hurts the film. Because I believe that in Lord of the Rings, subliminally, the characters often feeling as though they weren't smaller, even though you didn't really think about it. I think that helped you relate to them a little bit more. But honestly, the source material kind of weakens the film because the dwarves are not as relatable anyway. Although, you could enjoy Gimli as a character in Lord of the Rings, it's very hard to get connected with any of the dwarves. I would say there's 13 dwarves, and there's maybe 4, probably only 3 that you would even give a crap about. And ironically, the ones the ones that you care about the most are the ones that look the most human. There's really no reason for Thorin and a lot of the dwarves that have normal looking noses to have those normal looking noses. I guess it's not that. It's weird because you got to kind of compare it to Gimli. And Gimli, I don't think his nose was that overdone, but some of the dwarves just look ridiculous. They don't look good at all. It honestly feels like you've got Thorin, and honestly, I'm not going to remember any of them. I think one of them's name is actually Biffa. I wonder if Biffa, the Minecraft player on Hermitcraft server, I wonder if he intentionally named himself after him or if it's just a coincidence. You know what? Actually, there's more to do here. Come to think of it. But anyway, so for those characters, it's like you don't even really think about it. You don't think about these characters, and you don't get attached to them really, because it's like you've got the 4 main ones, and then you've got the rest of them feel like they're Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and I mean like Disney version, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. And it doesn't feel right. I don't know. It's hard to get attached to these characters. It's hard to feel like, you want to root for them or anything. Because it's just, I don't know. Something about them is just, you don't humanly, as a human, you don't really connect with them the way that you do the hobbits in Lord of the Rings. The band of hobbits, Frodo and Sam and Merry and Pippin and everybody. You really feel a lot more connected to them. And I think subliminally that could be due to the height difference being less noticeable. Because if you've ever played any of the video games that have the hobbits running around you, like in the Two Towers game for PS2, I remember being on, you play as Aragorn at the point where, just before Frodo gets stabbed by the Nazgul, or the Ringwraith. Nazguls are the things that they ride, I believe. That's why the one is called the Lord of the Nazgul. I could be wrong. I don't know. I called it a Nazgul just now because I was thinking about the skit from Whitest Kids You Know, where they talk about Frodo getting stabbed by the Nazgul. Anyway, that's not important. But at that point in the game, the hobbits are running around around you as you're fighting, and it's very noticeable how small they are because they're a 3D model, and it's really easy to see the size difference, and it's shocking, honestly, because you don't really feel that way in the movie. And I think it's actually to the movie's credit rather than to the movie's fault in that regard, because you are able to connect with them more. But that's just my opinion. Anyway, so let's see. I got some more stuff. Man, you guys, I think the server's gonna crash again because they're not moving. Those guys are moving though. Oh, they're moving. Good. So yeah, that's basically it. I'm gonna go finish the Squid. Oh, level 190. I almost forgot to talk about it again. Alright, in the last episode, I was level 190, and I said I was going to talk about it, and I didn't. And I will explain. It's actually not that big of a deal. So I was under the impression that here, let's go grab an enchantment. Let's grab efficiency. There. So I just want to show you guys why I'd actually used server commands to give myself a bunch of levels so that I could illustrate a point, but I never made that point. And when I went to go try it, I realized that I was wrong. So let's go here. Okay, so just so you know, this will probably help you out a little bit. This is my exploit bow, which has all these wonderful things, and it's going to be very difficult to repair this guy because of all the stuff on him. But you see here it says exploit bow. That lets you know that what you're doing is you're taking this item, the item in this slot, and you're going to be repairing it with the item in this slot, or you're going to be putting an enchantment on it, and obviously this isn't going to work, but you'd be putting an enchantment on it from an enchanting book in this slot. So you can't go this way. Okay, here, let me just show you. So you can see here, this will work. You can't go this way because you'd be enchanting the book with the diamond pickaxe, and obviously that's not going to work. So that's actually why you'll notice differences in cost when you're doing just repairing and transferring enchantments. Now the reason this is important is because I had thought when I had started doing this that if I was to put a bow here and do this, the bow that it would output would not be called exploit bow. It would just be called regular bow or whatever that other item would be called, and it would give me power 5, infinity 1, unbreaking 3 because they added that to basically everything now. And that's it. It wouldn't give me the other ones. And I thought that that was Mojang's way of being smart and basically weaning out any cheating that happened during the exploit. But in fact, that's not actually what happened. It turns out that if you just put this here, it'll still give you all those enchantments, but it's going to be too expensive. In this case, almost exclusively. I'm going to have to get the bow down to really close to dead and then use like another bow that's really close to dead or a bow that has very similar enchantments to even get it back up. So eventually it's going to be more trouble than it's worth, but as of now it's been pretty decent and I love having it. I have Silk Touch on this bow, which is great because it's always in my hotbar, and anytime I need Silk Touch, I'm just like, I don't even have to switch out my tools, just bam. You got a bow, it's got Silk Touch, let's do it, which is fantastic for when you're in the nether and you come across glowstone. It's so great to be able to just, I know that all I have to do is, I hit the glowstone, and bam, there you go. Now I've got glowstone instead of wasting it by getting glowstone dust, which doesn't, even with fortune, doesn't always give you back the amount you need. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of great things to do about it. Let's see. Okay, so T. Calhoun's not on. Oh god, my keys are stuck. There we go. Okay, so interesting. I guess it's just a glitch that happens sometimes because the map thing is still there. I'm going to disconnect real quick. Yeah, it's still there. And one thing that might I don't know, it's becoming less and less efficient way to do this, but let's just check. Nope, it still has the green thing. Okay, so so I guess it's just, sometimes it's there, sometimes it isn't. I know that maps are a little bit buggy. Sometimes they'll be empty and you gotta pick them up and use them to get them to fix themselves, but yeah, it's still cool. I still like the idea of doing it this way. Anyway, and I started writing down coordinates down here, but that's actually not what I want to do. For the coordinates, they're going to be your main bed. If you're to stand on top of the main bed in the pillow part, and then subtract 1 from the Y coordinate, and that's how we're going to basically label all the coordinates, except for obviously spawn needs its own special coordinate, and I'm just going to put the actual coordinate where the spawn point is, and that's how we're going to handle that. Alright, so that's about it. I'm sure there was quite a few things that I probably wanted to talk about that I didn't. Yes, there was. Let's remember this one. Martin Freeman. I think that's his name. He plays Bilbo in The Hobbit. If you haven't seen it yet, or even if you have, and you plan on seeing it again, I challenge you, when you watch the movie, a lot of people really liked his nonverbal cues. They thought he did a good job. By the way, I raised this up one. I just put a little room around it so it looks nicer. That helps with that situation down there. Anyway, one of my friends that I ran into when I went to see the movie mentioned that he really liked the nonverbal cues. And I told him, and I'm not saying this is a bad thing, but when I was watching the film, I had this weird feeling whenever he would do a nonverbal cue. And obviously, if you don't know what that is, a nonverbal cue is like when an actor's facial expression is utilized in order to say what their mouth isn't, to further the emotion of the story without talking, basically. And I felt like I was watching Mr. Bean at times with the face he made. Anyway, guys, so that's about it. I'm going to cut it here. This has probably been a long episode, but definitely a lot shorter than it was before. If anybody's got some ideas on what I can do here, I kind of made a change. I like this a little bit better from this angle, I guess. It kind of feels like I wish I could put curtains up, almost. But out here, I don't know. It feels like it should be a balcony, but I haven't come up with a design I like yet. In the future, when the base expands, that'll become more of a thing we deal with, and probably make it look real cool. I also put these railings here just for protection, since I can go over them, but mobs can't. I should probably switch these to stone, the way that that's stone. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. I hope you've enjoyed. I think this recording went pretty well, even though we really weren't able to help T. Calhoun all that much. Alright guys, I'll see you later. Hey guys, I need, the server's about to crash, I'm sure, but I need to hop back on and clarify something I said so I don't get crucified by Silent Hill fans. When I was talking about Silent Hill 2 and how the models were better in Origins. Ooh, I wonder, actually, can I place? Oh, that'd be interesting. I knew you could do that. It would have been really interesting if you could place pressure plates on a chest. Anyway, so I talked about the models in Silent Hill Origins being better of the monsters that are in both games. I need to clarify. I was thinking specifically of one monster in particular in Origins that's from Silent Hill 2, and it's not the nurses. Oh, there we go. It's actually the monster that has that looks like it's in a straitjacket, like a flesh straitjacket. It's one of the it's the monster. I think it's the very first monster in. No, I think it's the second monster. I think the first monster is the Grey Children. I think it's the second monster in the Silent Hill movie, the one that attacks Sybil Bennett with acid, which is why she takes off her helmet or whatever. And if you guys don't know, Sybil Bennett in the Silent Hill movie is actually I think her name's Laurie, and she's the character, the blonde character in Walking Dead. No, yeah, the actress's name is Laurie. It's Angela in The Walking Dead, I believe. Anyway, not important. Yeah, I was specifically thinking of that character. It was handled much better in Origins. And obviously, like, there's nothing wrong with the fact that it's handled better in Origins. They needed to get the concept out there so that it could be perfected, and that's just my opinion. So I don't want people raging in the comments eventually about how I'm crazy to think that one of the American Silent Hills has better models or graphics or anything, because I definitely think that the nurses are better in Silent Hill 2. I do not care for them in Origins at all. I mean, in comparison. What? Pretty sure I placed stairs there. Oh, you gonna play this game, huh? Oh my gosh. I Now I don't have any stairs. Is it doing the duplication thing again? Yep. Look at that. Alright, guys. Yeah, so that was about it. I'm gonna try that one more time and then call it an end. When I was working on the squid farm, I had this really funny experience happening where I think it's gonna stay this time. Where it happened like 7 times in a row. No joke. Where I was working over here and I put down like it was a different layout before where it wasn't, instead of having like a whole row like this, it was like columns. Hey, look at that. T. Calhoun joined the game. He has my sword still. It's a really nice sword though. I have a lot. I actually have storerooms that are hidden that I don't talk about that hold lots of really nice things, like a bunch of things I enchanted during the 12W49 snapshot that I'll be bringing out in the future at times, but we'll get to that later. Anyway, so I was over here, and I was trying to put down the stone bricks, and I kept placing what in my inventory said stone bricks, and then I'd look away and look back, and everything I had placed was redstone lamps. And it happened like 7 straight times. It was very strange. I'm gonna need to let T. Calhoun know that the server is going to stop because I gotta reset it. Yeah, I mean clearly. I mean look at how bad this connection is being right now. Right now it's a very cold, windy winter night in California. Are we in winter? When I was a kid, I used to believe that winter ended December 31st and spring started January 1st. You know, I was a very logical kid, and that just seemed like that's how it should go. But I have since learned that's not the case. All right, so I'm going to have to stop the server. I'm going to let him know. Okay. All right, guys. Well, take it easy. Well, that would have been way cooler. I'm not a server OP anymore. All right, I'm going to do it the hard way. All right, see you guys.